Now, the fun that we've all been waiting for. I've been getting a lot of people asking if I found out what the problem is on this here grid tie inverter. And nope, I just hooked it up again. As you can see, the green light flickers. We're going to see when the sun hits those panels if it changes. I don't think it will. I'm hooked up to two 100-watt panels. I didn't bring my meter, so I don't know what the voltage is right now, but I'm definitely over the 10.5 volts needed to start the inverter. And right now I'm hooked into 120 volt, which is what it's advertised as. What I need to determine for once and for all is if they just mislabeled it and sent me a 220 volt inverter. And the only way to do that is to hook it up to 220. So what I'm going to be doing this afternoon when the sun hits that thing, I'm going to run a cord out, tie it in where my water heater is, and set the camera up, and we'll see one of three things should happen. It'll either do nothing, and it'll continue doing that, flickering with the light back and forth. It'll work, or it'll blow up. One of the three things. So I got two of these. These are the damn ones. There were 600 watt KD models, and either that or a knockoff a KD model. And they're advertised as being 10.5 to 28 volt input and 90 to 140 AC output. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be working, except for the fact that somebody's made a critical mistake somewhere, either mislabeled them or put wrong parts in, and without schematics to know what the actual proper parts are supposed to be, or without a proper working one with the exact same board, I wouldn't know, how to fix the thing. There's really no way to figure it out, because it appears there's nothing blown on it. They're all doing that. So this seller has got a supplier that picked up a bunch of defects or a bunch of ones that needed to be refurbished, and this guy figured, I'll just flip them, dump them, they'll be out of the country. There's no brand name on them, no way to trace it back to them. What are they going to do? So I mean, that's not a very good way to do business. And so anyways, I got two of these things. They don't work. I'm going to see if I might end up sacrificing one this afternoon. If that doesn't work, if everything still stays the same, there's an adjustment in there, and I'm going to try changing the adjustment. Maybe it's never been properly calibrated, for like input voltage to turn it on. I have no idea, but like I say, I can't, it's no good to me like that. I'm not going to get anything for it really except for parts, so I might as well sacrifice one and play around with it and see if we can find out what's going on, if it's something that I can fix. Otherwise, I'll probably flip them up on eBay and sell them for parts if someone needs them for parts. Anyhow, that's what I'm doing right now. I'll be back in a couple hours when the sun's hitting those solar panels, and we'll hook her up to 220 and see what happens. Okay, so what this is extension cord pigtail that I have here with some number 14 wire on it, and this is how I'm going to get my 210 or 220. I got my water heater here. It's on a timer, so it's switched off now because it's during on peak, so it won't come on automatically until 7 o'clock tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it in here. On the ground, I just put an eyelet so that I can screw it to the ground there, and then I'll take the water heater off and connect that there to the pigtail, and then I'll put a zip tie around there just in case. The wire gets pulled or anything, so it won't rip anything out. And then when I'm ready to test it, I'll just come in and switch the switch on. Okay, that's the job done. I got the zip tie there, so that's securing it in case something pulls on the cord. I just connected it on, disconnected the water heater, and when I'm ready to turn it on, I just go up there and click the switch, turn her on, see if it blows up my grid tie inverter, see if it works, or see if it's just doing the same thing. So what I got to do is run an extension cord out through the window. There's a little hole in the screen in the corner there for me to poke an extension cord through, and I'll be doing that this afternoon. Once the sun moves into position, I'll be testing it. We'll see what happens. Alright, so in about half an hour to 45 minutes the sun should be in full position, and I can join the other extension cord up to plug her in. We'll go out and take a look outside. Everything's good here. This is plugged in. She's over there. Switch is off. So remember, boys and girls, don't do this at home. It could be fatal. So we're waiting for the sun to move over and hit the second panel. Like I say, in about 45 minutes it should be there, ready. Sky is perfectly blue sky, no clouds. You know, so she'll be doing good. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it from there. I put it up there so the shaded area can see it. It's still flickering between fault and ST. So what it's supposed to do is it's actually supposed to adjust the power factor. Right? It's supposed to sync to the mains, and that's what's not happening. So, and about 45 minutes I'll come out here and set this thing up. You can place your bets, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Either it'll work, it won't work, it'll continue to do the same thing, or she'll smoke up big time with a flash. So anyhow, I'll get to that in a bit. I can do a bit more raking out here now. Okay, we're out here. We're under full sunlight with these ones now. About 1:45 in the afternoon. You can see I moved it into the shade here. The thing is still blinking. The DC voltage coming in is 20.66 volts coming in from the solar panels, and that's 200 watts available. Now I'm going to put the thing on the because I got the line there, I got to transfer it over. Okay, so what I got to do is unplug it here. Got the right one. And now we're going to plug it into the 220 cord, and nothing should be happening because it's switched off, and I'm going in to turn on the juice. So the moment you all been waiting for, place your bets, and we're going to see if this thing is going to blow. Is she going to blow? Is she going to blow? Don't look like there's no big puff of smoke. So I guess she didn't blow. And see, it's doing nothing. So it's not a matter of them mislabeling it for 220 volts. There's definitely issues there. My guess is that they put some wrong components on, or maybe it's not calibrated properly. The next thing to do is try to turn that trimmer pod inside and see if it does anything. But right now I'm going to unhook it. Okay. So that'd be it. No big flash. No big smoke show. But at least we determined one thing. It isn't mislabeled. So it definitely still has a problem. And the problem it has is it will not sync. So we got her all disconnected. It ain't doing too much of anything. I got the other one hooked back up. So now what I have here is my two grid tie inverters. And these are the so-called 400 Grid Power 2 from Greenergy Star. Basically what I found was that running these things, if you run one and you put 3 solar panels on them, they'll start to shut down quite a bit. You can add a 4th and you're throwing it away. There's no sense in even putting a 4th on because you're not getting nothing. So by having them on 2, that's giving me the most amount of power I can get right now. What I was hoping to do was be able to put 1 per panel. So maybe even be better to get smaller ones. I wish they'd come out with them cheaper, around 50 or 60 bucks, that would properly convert to maximum efficiency, say 100 to 150 watt panel. Let's see what we're getting here now. Okay, we're getting 180 watts, 190, 80. Yeah, 191, so she's probably still ramping up. So basically around 200 to 225, I think. Let's see what this thing says for 125 volts, 60 hertz. .7 amps. Low 2 watts. 250 watts is the maximum that it's been, and that's probably what I'll be getting, is 250. So anyhow, that's about what I'm going to be getting, I guess, out of those. I'm going to redo those 2 solar panels that are hanging there because they're not optimized at that angle. They're there for winter. And I want to make a couple angle iron brackets so that I can put them on the roofs up here and pick up the early sun right through, early afternoon sun from about 1 o'clock right through till about 5 or 6 this time of year. I'll be good till about August, and then August the days will start diminishing too much. This one here I start getting full coverage about 11:30 right now. Yeah, see, this one is slow, the other one's going good, but yeah, the one's whipping around there, the other one's still in slow mode. Okay, so I took these ones here off the hooks from winter time. I have them up there so I get a little bit of charging from my batteries to run my little garden lights out there. These have all been converted to LED modules that I've done, but I got to get some landscaping wire and bury it all. Do a good job on it, but you can see, if I can block the sun, these here things, I paid probably a little much for them, but I bought them when they first came out a couple years ago. They've been working fine. They kind of look like they've changed color. They look more greenish now than they did. They were like almost an orange color. But they still work good. These are the ones that look bluish. So I put all those on there. And that thing there probably has water in it. There does. Nope. It had a little condensation in it, but there's a pill bottle there that's sealed. Has my electronic board in there with a sensor and a relay, a little car relay. So there is condensation in there, but she's still working good. And that turns it off at dawn and turns it on at dusk. I got it pointing towards the sky. Okay, so that'd be it. Yeah.